just to give a bit of perspective, there's the shelter up here at Gar. There's the track that we're coming on, and that ridge there is what we climbed up yesterday, and we came across this valley here, over the next valley, and over the way there, that furthest peak that you can see is Mount Zero. That's where I started the day before yesterday. And as we pan around on this beautiful morning, you can see Mount Difficult, the little trig at the top, and just here are the lounges where my brekkie. So I'm sitting here having brekkie, looking out over this magnificent view. It makes the whole trip worthwhile. So it's about 10:15 and we're off, heading to Werdug. Nice easy walking to start with, and if I can, I'll leave my pack at the junction up here and go for a walk up to Mount Difficult. We'll see how we go. Here's the turn off for Mount Difficult. So I don't think I'll be here again for a while, so I might check that out. I'll stash my pack here and go and have a look at Mount Difficult. This is the trig station on the top of Mount Difficult, and I walked up here this morning with Patrick and his son Tim, who also stayed at Gar last night. I think the name Mount Difficult is well deserved because there's a lot of rock scrambling, climbing to get up here, but it's certainly worthwhile. I'll just grab something so I don't fall as I'm turning around. And look at this panorama. Again, perfect day for walking the Grampians, and apparently this Mount Difficult is the highest point in the ranges. Now over there, of course, we can see Mount Zero, and back here is where I'm heading today. I'm just amazed at the formation of these rocks as to how they have such deep crevices between them to give that effect. It's just amazing that it's like that all over the Grampians. Makes it a little tricky walking, but just adds to the beauty of it all. I'm back to where I left my pack before climbing up to Mount Difficult. So we've got, what, 13.7 k's to go, 7 hours, don't know about that. Anyway, I'll put that beast back on my pack, on my back I should say, and start enjoying the 13.7 k's to Werdug. Every time you come over a hill, like there'll be steps, you know, and you sort of make your way up the steps, sort of puffing and panting. You get to the top, come over the other side, and you're rewarded with a vista like this. Look at that. What a lovely way to spend the morning. It's just an example of how these poles come into their own when it comes to walking downhill, because with all that weight on my back from the pack, about 24 kilos, you can get a bit of momentum going, and so these poles help to keep it all under control. So I don't think honestly I don't think I would like to do this walk without having the benefit of these poles. I just I see them as a safety device, and pretty well essential on this walk. are. On the marker. Only 6 hours to go now, it tells me. Okay, let's see. So now it's down to just 5.5 hours. Let's see. A lot of the track is really dry creek bed with all these rocks. So again, I'm glad to have the poles, but also good sturdy boots, because this stuff is not easy to walk on. But it's all part of the challenge, isn't it? That's what makes it enjoyable, having a bit of a challenge. Walking on these tracks is actually walking in dry creek beds, and it sort of adds to the difficulty, but all part of the challenge. Once again, this is what the Grampians Peaks walk is all about. Just look at that magnificent view. And here I am at the edge of this cliff, and I own that view. Just here all by myself, and it makes me want to stay here and not keep going. You just keep looking at it. It's just beautiful. But keep going we must. Just had some nice flat trail with a bit of shade, and now we've got the Stegosaurus in the open sunshine. Eh? What's not to like? See the marker over there? Got to keep casting around for these things. They're pretty easy to miss. It's slow going up this stuff. Oh, this marker's all the way up to the top. Oh, but short and sweet rather than long sidling. And of course, we've got to take in the views. Oh. Lovely. Well, onward and upward. Yes, and some sections are a little steeper than others and take a little more effort. Thank goodness for the poles. Just need pittance and a rope to get up here. Well, this is another one of those spots with the amazing view, and I recall this one from a photo in the Grampians Peaks Walk guidebook. Had a photo of someone attempting to look over the edge there with a warning not to get too close, because it's one heck of a way to get back up if you go over the edge, which is why I'm staying a very healthy distance from the edge, but just admiring that view. Look, there's a wedge-tailed eagle over there soaring on the currents. What more could a person want than to be out here on a day like this, owning all of this? It's just amazing. And look at that eagle. What a wonderful experience. I've just passed some of the others who left earlier this morning, that I think they just had lunch, and yeah, they were commenting too on how wonderful it is. I just keep watching that eagle. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm glad you could all come along on this walk with me. Hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Anyway, onward, ever onward. Nice little section of track with all these overhangs. Could easily shelter under here in a storm, I reckon. And over to the left, although the camera mightn't pick it up, I can see over the trees a bit. We've got the magnificent view. So I've been accompanied by that view on my left for quite a while now, and it's important not to be distracted by it, because I mean, you can't help but look out over there, but at the same time you've got to keep an eye on the track so that you don't misplace footing or tread on something that you don't want to tread on. So yeah, that was a lovely little section, wasn't it? So I've been walking along this side of that ridgeline, looking down that magnificent view of the plains. So now I've just come over the top, and look at this, we've got the Valley of the Dinosaurs over here. Absolutely beautiful. Mightn't have the distance of the view, but look at that lovely green and the mountains in the background. If you haven't guessed already, I am really enjoying this Grampians Peaks walk. Yes, it's not all stegosauruses and steps. Some of the track is quite easy to walk, and you can maintain a good pace. So this is a nice little break, more relaxing, easy-going sort of walk. Quite pleasurable. I'm amazed at the work that's gone on here with the laying of these stones. I've seen quite a bit of this, and it's certainly not natural. So someone has gone to a lot of effort to move these stones and to put these smaller cross ones in. So they've certainly done a great job on this track, that's for sure. Here's a really good example of what I mean by the placement of this stonework on the track. I mean, someone has spent a lot of time getting this rock in, placing it, and getting it all nice and even. Well, even enough for a walk over a bushwalking track. But yeah, certainly a lot of work in it. And look, it goes up and around the corner here. It's for another example of the laying of stones along the track. I mean, how on earth They, well, first of all, finding the stones and dragging them to this point and positioning them, and it must have been a lot of muscle power or some sort of motorised power. But just look at how many of these big rocks there are. No wonder the track costs so much to build. So after all that exposed rock walking, we're now in a lovely forest. Just trees everywhere, plenty of shade, and nice and cool. So yeah, nice change.